First, fast, accurate. You're watching WSBT22 News on Fox with John Paul and Paige Barnes.
There is no deal in sight between the U.S. and Iran after plans for another round of negotiations fell through.
President Trump says the naval blockade of the Strait of Hormuz will continue, but so will a ceasefire.
Sinclair's national correspondent Matt Gelka with the latest tonight from Washington.
The president had lofty expectations for another round of peace talks with Iran as he spoke with CNBC Tuesday morning.
What I think is that we're going to end up with a great deal. I think they have no choice.
But another round of peace talks were anything but certain throughout the day. There was confusion over when the ceasefire was set to expire. Iranian demands included the release of a seized oil tanker and the end of the U.S. naval blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. Both those issues reportedly bogged down negotiations. President Trump then extended the ceasefire indefinitely after saying earlier in the day he was prepared to send the military again if no deal was reached.
Well, I expect to be bombing because I think that's a better attitude to go in with, but we're ready to go. I mean, the military is raring to go.
Vice President J.D. Vance was expected to depart D.C. Tuesday morning for the long flight to Pakistan and another round of talks. By Tuesday afternoon, he was at meetings at the White House, and his trip was on hold. Pakistan's foreign minister urged the two sides to extend the ceasefire, while his Iranian counterpart Abbas Araghchi called the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports an act of war and a violation of the ceasefire. He said Iran knew how to protect its interests and resist bullying. Meanwhile, Trump accused Iran on Truth Social of breaking the temporary pause in fighting on Tuesday morning, writing Iran has violated the ceasefire numerous times. The Pentagon said U.S. forces boarded another Iranian-linked oil tanker, this time in the Indo-Pacific. The tanker had already previously been sanctioned, and CENTCOM also said 28 ships had been told to turn around at the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian officials have called the seizing and boarding of the tankers piracy and a violation of international law. Reporting in Washington, I'm Matt Gelka.
Iran is slowly allowing a larger list of people online, but easing up on access to the internet still shows the country's 90 million people remain offline. According to the New York Times, Iran's professors, researchers, and state media are getting reconnected. Tehran shut down the internet more than 50 days ago as the U.S. and Israel bombed the country. Al Jazeera reports connectivity has fallen to about 2% of pre-war levels. The digital blackout has resulted in billions of dollars of lost revenue for the economy.
A new analysis is raising concerns about U.S. military readiness. Experts say the U.S. has significantly depleted key missile stockpiles during the war with Iran, raising the risk of shortages in the future. According to the Center for Strategic and International Studies, the military has used nearly half of its most critical precision and air defense weapons. Officials say the U.S. likely has enough to continue current operations, but may lack sufficient weapons to confront a near-peer adversary like China. Replenishing those stockpiles could take years, even with increased production.
New for you at 10, the new Beacon Mishawaka Outpatient Center honors local civic leader Denny Schwartz, the former president of Valley Bank and Trust. The Outpatient Center is built on the same downtown site where Schwartz Bank once stood. Plus, his philanthropic support helped make the project possible. The 25,000 square foot, $21.7 million facility offers imaging, therapy, and primary and specialty care, along with advanced technology for faster, more accurate tests.
So we're a non-hospital-based location, and so the prices are affordable for the community. But we have full imaging from CT, MRI, DEXA, mammography, X-rays, and some other services that will continue to grow as this building develops.
Leaders say the center meets the demand for care closer to home while supporting downtown growth.
Michigan senators are touting a record $22 billion education budget, increasing the per-student allowance by $250 to $10,300. It also sets aside $1.5 billion for at-risk students. That's being broken down for free school meals, mental health and school safety, transportation costs, and teacher bonuses. Literacy programs are also included. Senate Democrats saying they're putting students first.
We've been doing that consistently over the years, providing breakfast and lunch for all kids, supporting transportation needs, especially in our rural school districts. This is a budget that we can be proud of, and it is a huge investment in our schools.
On top of the investments, Senate Democrats want to codify a 15-year weighted spending formula, which tailors funding to student needs. House Republicans' $21 billion plan would also boost per-student funding by $250 and fund free school meals, but does not include weighted spending. A new restaurant is coming to Mishawaka. The Planning Commission has approved the plans at the current United Federal Credit Union on the south side. This is on Bremen Highway, just south of Meyer. The developer didn't confirm which restaurant it is, but we do know that the business will have a drive-through.
Some big news for coffee lovers. 2 new businesses are coming to Mishawaka. The first is 7 Brew drive-through coffee. The Planning Commission has approved plans for the location on Main Street. Now, the plan is to knock down the current Windy City gyros and build new. There will be 2 drive-through lanes as well.
The commission also finalizing plans for a Dutch Brothers coffee. You can see it on the map now, just south of 7 Brew. This will be built at a current vacant lot just north of the former Aspen Tap House on North Main Street. The preliminary site plan shows a nearly 1,000 square foot building with 26 parking spaces.
Well, the good news is the temperatures are going to stay in the 70s, so it's iced coffee weather the rest of the week. Although we do have a cool down later in the week. I'll tell you when you can plan for that. Coming up next.